the society, his personal and professional life changes completely. It changes, your perception about the family, friends, relations, society, and the nation changes. My perception towards the world changes. That brings an end to the suffering, not only for a seeker, but also for the people around him. That is extremely important. So we have to always keep our mind clear that it is we have to bring an inner change in our life. So when we bring that inner change in our life, my perception towards the world, family, profession, personal and professional life changes. One. And second, it brings an end to the suffering. So we have to check every time, is there any fundamental change taking place in my life or not? Did I become calm? Did I raise my level of awareness? From my side, my relationship to the world has changed. My perception towards the wealth, my perception towards my body, my personal relations have changed or not. It is me who has to change inside. And that is why, so the rare seekers brings that change in their life. Rare seekers. So that is extremely important to remember. Another way to understand that you check everyone, you earn wealth, you remain same. You have a wealth and you don't have, you remain the same. You are single or married or divorced, you remain the same. So the masters of the Eastern wisdom are pointing out that how long you are continue to remain the same person, having insecurity, unhappiness, dissatisfaction, you feel limitations in your life. How long you will remain limited. But anything from outside cannot change. Whether it is a wealth, whether you become an influencer, whether you shave yourself or you remain unshaved, it doesn't matter. So a seeker is one who says that I don't want to remain same. Every day, weeks and months and years, I follow the same pattern. And there is a sense of insecurity, unhappiness, dissatisfaction, and limitations in my life. So I have to break all them. I don't want to remain same. That is another way to understand that we are living wisely. So we have to check every time. Say, for example, you wake up in the morning and you remain the same. You have branded your honey, she or he is crazy. So every day, you wake up and you have the same wrong perception. So that causes the problem to you. A more problem in your mental and emotional life than the others. We don't see that. When you don't see that, then your mind is not living inside, you are living unwisely. So, entire journey of the Eastern wisdom aims at inner transformation. My perception towards the people, towards everything in the world changes completely. And when it changes completely, you are always sitting in calmness and peace and love. That is extremely important. So, what is our seeking and searching? Our mind should remain focused there. What is my seeking and searching? Our race, our profession, our gender, our color, our relations do not matter. Our seeking is permanent peace, happiness, love, truth, and wisdom. And that search has to be undertaken inside us. Why? We have to remove that insecurity, unhappiness, dissatisfaction from the mind inside. That is what I said. You are living wisely. Did you check when you woke up in the morning that yes, I'm living wisely? Did you check the mind got confused? It has an element of reaction, blame, complaint. Do not tell me. But we need to become aware and we need to see that why these elements, why these mental and emotional baggage returns every day when we wake up. Or it has been going, it has been dissolving. It depends on your emotional freedom. You have the emotional freedom, it is 100% possible. And emotional freedom simply means that I do not love anyone, but the very love which is existence owns me. I am possessed by that pure emotion. And how it happens? The first element, that's what we are trying to understand in a couple of sessions, that we have to separate real from the unreal. What is unreal? It has to do with the delusion, it has to do with the confusion in my mind. Simple example. Keep that statement in your head all the time. No one else in the world outside is responsible for my peace, happiness, love, and wisdom. I'm responsible for my sorrow and I'm responsible for my peace and happiness. No one else. But when I have an emotional dependence, that mind takes over the intellect and the intellect is paralyzed. We have seen many a times. Intellect is paralyzed. The moment the intellect is paralyzed, then we start blaming and complaining and reacting and entering into the anxiety and delusion and stress and suffering. A seeker realizes this difference. A seeker understands it. The moment the mind starts moving with an emotional baggage, emotional dependence on the world outside, the intellect enters, the intellect discerns real from the unreal, and that person calms down instantly. That is the greatest practice than doing a practice of meditation. So, the knowledge, awareness, living wisely, all the three matters in our life. Think, it is possible. You look at a person and you have a jealousy or a hatred against that person. uh, you cannot, you cannot go home and practice and then you get rid of the jealousy. It is the knowledge. Now, emotional dependence, it has come. Let me change that perception. What do I have to do with this? Nothing outside is responsible for my sorrow and happiness. So what we are understanding, that emotional freedom is a very important element in our personality, in our behavior, in our attitude. And that has been explained by our masters in variety of ways. They say upasana, sitting near, sitting nearby means I'm aware of that real self inside. See the other way. We love our son, daughter, honey, parents, friends. What we what if we do it consciously? What it means that the son and the mother relationship, couples relationship, father and the mother relationship, we adore. We see that it is the love that owns them. Am I making a right statement? That is what all the religions teaches. Let me explain in a different way. We go to these religious places, or if we do not go, but we know that we go there and we adore Jesus, Buddha, or Krishna. So actually, we are not adoring them. We are not worshipping them. We are invoking that real self in us. Otherwise, what that image will do to us? Are you getting it? What those images, these are dead images. But still, we are thinking, we are trying to change the direction of the mind. And then what happens that I have told you, every day you pick up an image. I see my master in every being, whether it's a male or a man or women or a or child or friends or honey. Let me see, let me perceive my master there. Why we use this method? In order to change that emotional dependence to the emotional freedom. When you see my, say for example, when I see the master in every being on this earth, so my mind is not attached at the sensual level, at the physical level. My mind does not respond or react with reference to one's attitude, behavior. Do you see that? That is what, that is how the Eastern wisdom says we have to bring about that change in ourselves. In order to do that, the love should not be blind. That is why I said live wisely. That love should be conscious. You see that, for example, you go to the church, then where is the difference between going to the church or a temple or a synagogue, anyway? You see one everywhere. Do I see that image of love which brings an emotional freedom in everyone? But why we are doing this? So I have already answered. We are doing in order to bring about an inner transformation of my mind. What is that inner transformation? I know by fact that I did not create love. So let the love should possess me. That is emotional freedom. When I possess the love, I have preferences, I have biases, I have a reaction, I have a proper attitude, I have a different attitude. That is what the masters are teaching us. Whether you say upasana, pure love, another word is used as a bhakti, that is what you internalize the mind that is scattered outside in many directions. Why the mind is scattered in many directions? Because I'm seeking an emotional attachment or dependence. why not depend on the real self? Why not depend on the real self? Think, contemplate, why not? Why shouldn't I depend on the real self? But the real self is formless, nameless, it is a pure consciousness. How can I love that formless, nameless, which is beyond time and space? So, the way my mind superimposes attachment on a person whom I say soulmate or friend or honey, the same way I superimpose nameless and formless on every person else. Or create an image, pick up any image in the beginning. You love your mother, let the mother be the goddess. Anyone, pick up anyone. You believe in so-called God, pick up the God, an image of the God. See Jesus in everyone. It is better to see Jesus or Krishna in everyone than going to these places and worship. I'm not against anyone, but I'm just telling you the fact. That is going to change you. That is going to change you. Can I say clearly that we are using these images as a tool to bring about a change in our mental status from emotional dependence to emotional freedom? That much role we are seeking from these images. But as you continue, what is going to happen? My mind refuses to see a person as a person. It says, my master is sitting there. And the moment your master is sitting whom you love so much, for example, in my case, I love so much, there is no chance of the duality, conflict, and confusion in the mind. It will not work. So we have to check again and again. And when we start doing it, pick up anyone, I said. Well, if you do not pick up, then pick up, move. Move with the thought and the feeling. So here the real self is manifesting in the form of a Stephen, in the form of David, in the form of Jerry, in the form of a Brandy. At least you think consciously. So when you think like this, the real self is manifesting with the name and the form of a Sam. Your mind moves away from the emotional dependence. Even that. You don't want to work with an image, it's okay. That will work. Just check it. Do it one day only. Consciously. The whole day. You wake up in the morning and you find the honey welcomes, but think, real self is meeting me in the form of a honey. The real self is meeting me in the form of a brother, in the form of a sister, in the form of a relations. Just you start thinking that way and see that your mind is already free from the emotional dependence. Initially, I had a tremendous doubt and I reacted against this principle, but it took me a couple of years to follow that. And once I followed that, you get rid of all the emotional baggage from your mind. One of the most striking principles I am adding that every person you meet, every situation you meet, every situation you face in the world aimed at our evolution. Had you ever thought that I am going to meet and you are going to continue for such a long period? It's a process. It's a process. We all are evolving together. Oh, I met a person, and he or she was soulmate, and now I'm terribly disturbed. So you are moving in a wrong direction. You're moving in a wrong direction. Every event, every situation, every person, every relationship has been so called created by the existence for my evolution. Think in that way. And you see where your emotional dependence is. The emotional dependence will surely dissolve. When you see the world is there around me for my conscious evolution, not for my problem and reaction, then that love starts manifesting through the mind in your relationship. I'm not going into a subtle detail that I will go in these couple of more sessions. So, what we are doing outside, we are lifting our relationship with an emotion at home, in the society, in the profession, in our relationship with anything and everything. And we are using the same emotion consciously. Here I'm meeting my honey. So I let me start with the thinking and feeling that I'm meeting the real self in the form of a honey. I'm meeting the real self in the form of a brother or a sibling or a friend or a boss. Otherwise, that emotional baggage and dependence will continue. So there we become the hypocrite. Boss, yes, sir. And then we say, my mind, other part of the mind says, crazy boss. Look at this, dad is not understanding. I have been learning Eastern wisdom. No, no, no. Hold on your mind. You change yourself. They are not learning. They are not going to the teacher. They are not in time. Don't worry about them. You change. When that feeling and the emotion changes, I'm holding back a couple of things that I will tell you later. You change others also. When you have that intense feeling that the real self is manifesting in this name and the form, which is known as Brandy, which is known as Vaibhav, which is known as Jerry in the David, you will see the unexpected change in not only in your life, but if you feel, for example, that real self is manifesting in the form of my dad, at least you have changed. You are moving with responsibility and affection, and that will change your dad also. This has happened. I have witnessed that. You can see that. What happens in that case that when we see the real self is manifesting in the form and the name and in the relationship, the very I-ness that wants to possess someone drops. Did you get it? What I said? That when my mind perceives that real self is manifesting in the form of a David and Jerry, so very I-ness, the ego drops in you. So ego limits us. It is the ego who creates a preferences, who has a biased attitude, that drops. So you become free. So we find that sense of oneness. We find that sense of oneness, and that oneness comes from the real self within you. There was a couple who loved each other and they ran away from their house, went to another city. It's a parable, it's a story that makes you understand the love owns you, you do not possess. When you possess the love, it is attachment. So the boy said that I will go to the market and buy some stuff. So he bought some stuff in return, knocked the door. So the girl inside asked, "Who is this?" So the boy said, "I am." The door did not open. So the boy said she might be doing something, that's why. So after half an hour, he knocked the door again. "Who is this?" "I am, honey." Door did not open. So after half an hour, he realized the mistake. So he knocked the door again. "And who is this?" "Only you are. Only you are. I'm not." That I-ness is gone. And the door got opened. So door of the intimate, the real love opens when this I is absent. It's a very famous story. We always talk about it. That there is no sense of I-ness is left, then the love manifests. And this love, you'll be surprised, it brings your fatigue level down. The last point, I'm going in. It brings your physical fatigue level down. It leaves a sense of freedom. Your mind remains constantly steady. You need not to control your mind. You need not to control the thoughts. And what happens? Wherever you move throughout the day, that sense of love, that sense of affection, that sense of calmness and peace prevails in our life. Let us close your eyes. Close your eyes, being comfortable. Position of the body. Adjust and align the position of the body. Any position where you feel comfortable, and so move the mind gently on all the entire body from the top of the head to the toes. Experience sensation, comfort, and steadiness. The best way in being comfortable, if you remember all the time that it is the same real self, you are saying to yourself, the same real self is manifesting as me. As means what? As David or as Sam. You say to yourself, oh, it is the same real self, is expressing itself, you will always remain comfortable. Try this week. Use this week. So, what you are doing, you are discerning. You are separating yourself from your own body. I'm not the body. I'm not the mind. Too much of clinging with the body and the mind causes this emotional baggage. Now you see the role of being comfortable. Being carefree, the thoughts are coming, the feeling and the images are there. Oh, mind. Mind, you are wandering in search of pure love, but it is inside. So what you do, you don't care any thoughts and feeling and images. They enter your mind, let them. They leave, let them. They stay. So it's another way of discernment. You see that when we talk of the love, we need a discernment. It's very important. We need a discernment. Discernment is done by the intellect so that the love does not remain blind. It's not a blind love. Love at first sight is blind love. And traditionally, it is better that you replace your mind. The mind, Sarve bhavantu sukhina, let everyone be happy. That is the meaning. So remember the word, the meaning, and the knowledge. I believe that you all remember the word, the meaning, and the knowledge. What is the word? Sarve bhavantu sukhina. I'm using another mantra. Sarve bhavantu sukhina. So what is the meaning? Let everyone be happy. What is the knowledge behind it? Let everyone be happy. Why? Am I praying for them? Am I doing anything? No, I'm just reminding that happiness is our essential nature. Do you see that? So when you think and reflect like this, it breaks that moment of emotional baggage. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve santu niramaya. Sarve santu niramaya. Simple meaning, let there be a well-being for all. Are we not all seeking the state of the well-being? Is the well-being manifest from the real self? Yes. We go for secondary treatment to the doctors, that's okay. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Simple meaning, let everyone be blessed. We are not talking of any religion, cult, dogma, belief. You respect your mom. Oh, let the mother, in the image of the mother, bless everyone. That will work. Any senior or older, that will work. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu. Or simply, you can say that let the existence bless everyone all the time. Ma kasche dukha bhag bhave. You see, it appears there is a negative point here. Let there be no misery and the suffering in the world. No one suffers from any misery. So when our mind melts with that idea and the thought, that is the compassion of the Buddha. When the love is expressed outside, it becomes a compassion. Ma kasche dukha bhag bhave. And then we will continue to purify the mind but also move the mind inside. So, looking deep inside the heart in the space, dropping gently Om Shanti with love. Start breathing quick and fast from the chest through the nostrils, and the body remain in the state of inertia, in the state of sensation, comfort, and steadiness. You continue breathing. My friends, we are separating. When you discern that here is a body, here is a breath, and here is a mind, here is a space, you are breaking the habit of the habitual impulsive mind that believes love has to do with an attachment, love has to do with an dependence. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. And now it becomes very easy for us to continue because at the same time we are experiencing the change. We experience the freshness, the calm, the mind that is scattered is now settled. So it encourages, it inspires us also. But the fact is that the discernment takes place. And stop this, do nothing. Just discern, become aware of the entire body. Experience the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. Then looking at the breath, aware of the breath, aware of the movement of the breath, going in and out, feeling the sensation. Then deeper than the breath is what we feel, the thoughts and feeling and amazes. Become aware of that. Deeper than that is only a blankness in the space. The mind, because of its impulsive nature, does not want to live for a longer period in that space. So, that is another reason we are doing this breathing step. And now we will start with the nyasa and the spine only. You start breathing little deep, silent, and slow. Check that your breath is rhythmic. And when the breath is rhythmic, as you inhale, the mind moves from the crown of the head to the tailbone in the space in the spine, singing mentally. So when you are singing, obviously there would be an element of emotion. Om Shanti, as if Om Shanti is the name of the real self and you are addressing it. And as you are exhaling, the mind moves from the tailbone to the crown of the head in the space inside the spine, singing Om Shanti. So in Nyasa, we are not creating any imagination, any visualization. We are simply aware of the space inside the spine and singing Om Shanti. When we can stay in the Nyasa for a longer period, the mind is inside. That mind living inside is easy. For us, it is easy to follow this upasana in the bhakti. Here in a Nyas, breath is rhythmic. Om Shanti continues. Mind is moving in the space. Body is steady. And you feel a sense of withdrawal from the world outside. And leave this step looking inside the heart. Let us see how this upasana and the bhakti works with the 5 different expressions of emotions. So the very first expression, just visualize even the Buddha deep inside the heart. We have all seen the Buddha, perhaps. I can see that we don't have any disliking. So Buddha represents that compassion. That should be the first. Buddha represents the compassion and the love and the freedom. So now visualize the Buddha from the toes to the top of the head, sitting in your heart, one thing, and in your mind, you're offering. What you're offering? What I am, what I possess, what I have. While moving the mind, there's an example. You can replace the Buddha with any image. Moving them, or if you don't want any image, simply looking deep into the space. That's another way instead of a triangle. So you can offer what I am, become aware, what I have, what I possess, all belongs to the Buddha. All belongs to the existence. You drop and dissolve the burden that we constantly carry with a sense of attachment. Not only we are practicing, but we are also understanding how the emotional transformation takes place. So every time consciously we offer what I am, what I have, what I possess to the existence, or existence in the form of the Buddha or the teacher or anyone with whom we feel having evolved. So, what happens when we offer what I am, what I have, what I possess to the existence? Our mind almost behaves like a baby. So, we visualize we are in the lap of the Buddha. A bigger picture, we are in the lap of the existence at every moment. Not like the baby in the lap of the mother. So we are invoking that motherly love. The next lesson should be focused on these five different types of emotions. Then our master talks about, make your Buddha as your friend. You visualize, you feel, you communicate like the Buddha as a friend. I'm your friend. So, what happens when we have these three kinds of emotions we trigger consciously? Then only we have a sense of attachment that transforms. And that is what we say, that now we are attached to the Buddha or the Master or the existence. And then comes the fifth stage of this love. It is love for the sake of love. So, what exactly we did? Location, heart. We chosen the image of the Buddha and we want to get attached with the Buddha or with the existence. It doesn't matter. So here we didn't use any mantra. You can return to the old one, looking inside the heart, singing Om. The mind is going deeper and Shanti. After that, everything stops there. So this Om Shanti will also work, but when we ask the mind to trigger the variety of emotions, we become aware. That's why we did these five different emotions. your mind will stuck to that any one of the five stages of the emotion where we have a sense of emotional attachment. One is offering everything. Second is that we are on the lap of the existence. Third is the friendly love. Then we can explore the sense of attachment. To get attached to the Buddha has no problem. To attach to the existence is not a problem. And my friends, do nothing. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palm, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. We'll share, bring the hands down, we'll share our experiences and if you have any question. So, how are you, Stephen?
That was really good. It was extremely quiet, frictionless meditation. I followed your words from start to finish, and two things stood out to me was nothing really mattered. It was what it was, and at the end, I started to feel really cold.
Cool.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, that's a beautiful. How are you, Sangeeta? How are you, David and Jerry? We'll take her later.
Um, very much like Stevens. It was just very soft, very easy, very no attachment. Just nothing. There was nothing for however long we were in it, and I too felt cold.
Too, yeah. That's a good thing, when we have that emotional sense of freedom, we have that experience. Very good. How are you, Jerry?
So very good, thank you. Yeah, I felt like just soaking up all your words during it and completely absorbed.
Completely absorbed. Yes. Maybe every day for a few times you see that, we are in fact owned by the existence. If there is no earth, we cannot sit and stand. There is no air, there is no water. Think of this and simply say, oh, what I am, what I have, what I possess all belongs to the existence. So, saying this and feeling internally means that we are getting rid of that strong ego that wants to possess, that wants to own, that wants to belong to someone, and then it expects someone should be attached to us. Do you see? So, that awareness should be there all the time, and then we get the emotional freedom. How are you, Brandy?
Good morning, I'm fine, thanks. I had to offer the I-ness some shanti. It's like going down fighting, sometimes.
Yeah.
And but that helped. It kind of cleared it out. And then when you talked about being in the lap of existence, I felt a sense of protection. I felt, just like you would if you were in the lap of someone safe when you're little. And that was some freedom in that.
I like her expression. So, what happens when we, anyone can feel when we are doing the regular practice? You will find a sense of complete protection in the hands of the existence. That is a very important point. So you already know, unless you experience something and then only I express it. Otherwise, it may become, mind will accept that feeling and it will say, a sense of complete protection. So where we are searching for protection, we already know. In the wealth, in our relationship, you see, in our relationship, and in very small and petty things in our life. And that is the emotional attachment. Wonderful. How are you, Sam?
Good. I experienced just a very quiet, blank, space, and very peaceful.
Very peaceful. Yes, do this practice and contemplate and reflect what I am, what I have, what I possess. All belongs to you. Fact is that it all belongs to the existence. Nothing belongs to us. Just analyze, reflect. Body, mind, breath, intellect, ego, bank account. Bank account also belongs to the existence. Existence gives you, it is the existence that prevents you to go to the bank account. Something may happen. How are you ever?
Sir, I'm good. It was quite absorbed. Some thoughts was going around, but I'm totally absorbed and it was not impacting me. Totally calm.
Beautiful. That's another beautiful, yeah. One master used to lie down when that master was asked, "Do you never meditate? What do you do in your life?" And everyone says that you are awakened. So now see the existence. You don't see it, but my mind is totally absorbed with the existence. No, I have never seen you meditating. Huh? Have you never seen me? So you see me that I'm lying down and sleeping. So that sleep is prostration to the existence. When I'm eating, you see that I'm eating, but with a feeling that let the existence is taking the food through me. Let the existence eat through me. Are you getting it? You use that feeling, you use that emotion to change. How are you, Rakesh? Rakesh is no Ashok, sorry. Ashok, are you there? Not there. Okay, you
All
return.
good, peaceful, light,
Good, good,
and
good.
being absorbed.
Fully absorbed.
Yes.
Yes, very good. How are you, Anastasia?
Thank you. I'm very calm. It was so deep, and today I had different feeling in my spine. It was feeling like a liquid inside. Not like a liquid, like something moving like breath, maybe. And thank you very much for this practice. It's so helpful. I use it every day when I have anxiety with my attachments to mother or brother or anyone.
Yeah,
I do it, and it's like a cup of tea for me. It works so
very
calm for
good.
me.
Continue doing it until you have that sense of emotional freedom. Anastasia is also translating. I'm volunteering a session for Ukrainians from 10 to 11 our time. So a lot of people join there. And she is beautifully translating. So that is also helping her a great deal. How are you, Sangeeta?
सर मेरा वो ब्लूटूथ स्पीकर काम नहीं कर रहा था तो आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही थी मुझे
अच्छा अच्छा
पर अभी भी कुछ नहीं सुन रहा थे तो पर मेडिटेशन नॉर्मल था मतलब बहुत मजा नहीं आया आपकी आवाज के बिना पर अच्छा था
She has some disturbances with her uh, sound. So, my friends, just think that how to change that emotion. 99% of our anxiety, duality, conflict, and the confusion enters in our mind due to this emotional dependence. What we say, the attachment. So easy way to you restart, you change the direction of the mind. What I am, existence. What I have belongs to the existence. What I possess belongs to the existence. One way. Or you visualize the image of anyone you love, adore, respect. Any image, that will also work. So don't allow your reasoning, oh, what will happen? So that is becoming a non-seeker. You just try this method and see what happens. You will find that you are constantly in the lap of the existence, and the love has possessed you. That is all. Thank you.
Namaste, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Love you.